Hi, here I am in the really lovely Shepherd's Hut in Abergavenny in Chapel Cottage Studios. I'm teaching in the studio here, and the tutor's accommodation is this amazing Shepherd's Hut. I wanted to show you so that's my bed there, and then this is the half door overlooking the really beautiful countryside. It's amazing, and I've got everything I need. Like there's a wood burning stove and a wee bathroom back there. But I wanted to do something in this little book that I'll show you. The last time I was here, loads of people have done these amazing, like there's tutors that come here that leave a picture in the book every time, and there's some really gorgeous things. And then there's one that I did when I was here last year maybe, so it's the bunting and things. And since then there's been some changes, so I was wanting to go back and do a little image of the interior again. Look at that beautiful landscape. Incredible, isn't it? Aren't they gorgeous? Anyway, so in this time I'm going to do kind of a collage-y thing. And I've got myself set up a little bit here already. I tore out some pictures that I could use, and I've got the watercolour. And so I'll just see what happens. And, you know, again, there's 10 minutes or something like that. So, yeah. Yeah, okay. Alright, I think you can see well enough. So I've got some glue here. I'm going to put on this little row of houses I thought looked a little bit like the bookshelves that are up there. Just want to do something fairly quick that'll explain the lovely kind of character of what I'm seeing here. And then I found this kind of collage panelling in a book there, so I just thought that would do as a backdrop for the wall. And then I painted some yellow ochre onto a little bit of just on my notebook, and that to me will work to describe the shelf under the books and in front of the under the books and in front of the panelling. Okay, and then yeah, you can see the heart there, so I kind of already tore out a little heart from a book that will work to be the hanging heart that's there. Back to the old collage-y fun stuff again. There's a little heart. So I'm kind of getting there, and I love bunting. I think it's just such a happy. I'm going to put the camera down on the chair there so that you can see more what I'm doing. So I think where I've got it's a bit too high up for me to comfortably work. I'll show you what I'm up to. So, sorry. Oh God. Right. Yeah. It wouldn't be me if there wasn't a little bit of faffing around. Okay. So, this is what I've got so far. Now I'm going to start using a bit of paint, I think. Yeah, so maybe the red for the teapot up there. And there's also kind of a crimsony red bit of bunting here, hanging off the shelf. There's another bit over there, waiting to fit in. And I'm going to use some of the blue, cobalt blue, I think it is there, to describe the other bit of bunting that's underneath the teapot. Yeah, and I tear out that heart. Yeah, maybe this is the same old notebook. And I thought I might tear out the heart shape around this heart, because it's the heart wreath that you can see on the wall there. Okay. Yeah, I'll just do a couple of pieces and patch it together somehow. Okay. Bit of glue on the back. Can you see what I'm doing? I think you can. A bit of glue on the back, and then some in the shape of a heart here, so that I can just tear off that bit at the end. I can use another piece from here. Children are playing football outside, you can hear them. Such a fantastic place to come and work, honestly. the wood burning stove was lighting yesterday when I arrived, and there's no better feeling than lying on the bed there. I mean, it was boiling hot, so I opened the half door, but it's so delicious to do that because you can see the sky. There's a massive sky there out the half door, and it just felt like bliss, really. Yesterday, you might know that my train was delayed if you watched the video from yesterday, and so it was really lovely to finally land, because I got up at 3 a.m. yesterday morning, having done no packing or anything. So I was fairly delighted with myself to get here and just have such a lovely rest. There we are. So that's kind of a heart of sorts. I think maybe if I put on some yellow ochre over the whole thing, it'll kind of make it feel a bit more cohesive and make it read as being different from the shelf. Now, speaking of the shelf, it's kind of sending, what am I going to do? Yeah, I'll just continue doing a little bit more painting, I think. I'm going to paint across this, the rest of the shelf there, and over here. And then, of course, there's a nice yellow bit of bunting there. Maybe use some of the yellow as well as yellow ochre, but the ordinary yellow. And I find what's a really lovely thing to do with the bunting is to use some collage on it as well. But I also want to continue the feeling of the panelling. So I'll just carry on some of these lines down the way to describe the panelling. It might actually be less colourful and have a bit more like a browny quality to it. Oh God, I can relax a bit. I've got a few minutes. Okay. Yeah. Just calm down on you. So I've put a mixture of green and red into the greyish colour, so to make it more like the colour of the lines of the panelling on the wall behind. And it's not a mathematical exercise here now, I'm just kind of getting the feel of it. So it's not exactly precise, that's okay. That's maybe the string there. And the underside of the shelf is darker. But I'm just going to do a line to explain that. So it's the underside of the shelf there, and the brighter bit is at the front. And then the bunting begins again there. So I'm going to let that blue bit of bunting be described with this. Yeah, this is a lovely little torn piece of paper that I got from catalogue that reminds me of bunting that's there. So I'm just going to stick some of that on. Yeah, it's very like the other, it's exactly the same as the pattern on the other bunting as well, so I'm just going to see if I can tear it. My goodness. Okay, and use some on this side as well. Yeah. There we go. There's some there. And then I'll use some over here too, so that it overlaps the shelf. And as a starting point, I looked at some more nice blue flowery kind of paper that'll work for the bunting too. And so I'm going to use some of that as well. Make a smaller piece of it. It's kind of tricky when your hands get sticky, but hey ho. Okay. And this one then is a little whitish pattern. I think it'll work that really kind of nice on the yellow one. Yeah, so this is how it's looking so far. I think I'm getting a feel for what I want. I was going to use the pen to draw some of the book shapes to make them read more as books than houses here. And DVDs. Really, I've got every single thing I could wish for in this place. It's just so amazing. There's even like a little toaster and a cooker and a kettle. And yeah, I'm going to extend a piece of paper up past that now to describe the bookend that's kind of higher. And really it's yellow, so I'll just get another yellowy piece. It's just a lot of fun working with collage. That's, at least I love it anyway. Yeah, it just takes me out of myself, you know. You can get yourself all worked up with the things of the world. Yeah, so I'm going to put the yellow on top of that. Yeah, that's okay. All right. And now, oh yeah, there's a couple of minutes now, so I'm wanting to make the bunting work a bit better than it is already. And what I want to do is to find a white pattern. I think this will actually, that'll do there, look. It's just some greenery. It reminds me a bit of the piece of white bunting that's hanging there. So I'm just going to slap it on. Okay, and the red, yeah, the red checkered bunting needs a bit more. So I'm just tearing off a bit of this paper to describe the red bunting and how it's, it isn't really overlapping the heart, but I think it would work for it to overlap the heart in my picture. So I'm just going to make that happen. Yeah. And in the last minute or so, I want to continue the shapes in the books there to make them read as though they're extending higher, you know, that there's different shapes to them. There's kind of a pink one. Reminds me a bit of the bookshelves from the last 30 Days series. Yeah, and this is a little, well, Home Sweet Home teapot. If I had more time, I might like to tear out some lettering to describe that. But for now, it's just good enough, I think, to do that kind of some sort of detail around it. I like the panelling above the shelf as well, so I'm going to see if I can describe that with some yellow ochre and just the colours that are in the palette, really. It's kind of creating some sort of a grey for the panelling behind the books and everything on the top shelf. Bit of burnt sienna will get that bowl. Burnt sienna and burnt umber to make the shape of the bowl that sits there beside the teapot. And yeah, this is pretty much it. I'm going to carry on because I'm really loving this kind of caper, but that's it so far. What you might like to do is to find somewhere that you really love in your own house, or some particularly beautiful spot with lots of pattern and everything, and just find some stuff that you can tear, cut out, and stick on to make it. Thanks very much for watching.